how much has Neil Young influenced you? Because last time we spoke at the Junos,
Yeah.
you were talking about Neil Young a lot, and then I hear the record, and I'm like, okay,
well, yeah,
I
think he's always a source of inspiration for me based on the longevity that he's been able to carve out, you know, doing what he wants. Mm-hmm. And I think that alone, before his musical inspiration, is what I would strive to be, you know, is to be 60 years old, still doing this, and still doing it the way I want to do it. And I like that about him, you know. I like that he doesn't care what people think. I like that he makes records the way he wants to make them. And that's sort of what I have always, you know, been striving to do and get to that point where I can feel comfortable making whatever I want and hope that there will be still some people who like it, you know.
Well, I think people are going to dig this record when they hear it.
Well, I mean, that's the goal, you know. I mean, maybe the first goal is just to make a record that I really like. Mm. And then, you know, hope that, because I'm the one who has to sing it over and over.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I hope people like it, but if they don't, that's okay too. I'm not going to stop playing my guitar because I don't make a top 10 list or something, you know?
Well, talking about guitar, like the first single, Thirst, sounds nothing like any. It's like the one tune with electric on the record.
Yeah, it's the one it's the one rocking.
So why is that the single? To throw people off the scent, kind of? Or
it just seemed like the right... The thing with singles, right, is that, like radio stations, they're like supermodels, you know? They have to be babied and, you know, they have to, like, they only do what they want, you know? You can't really, like, you know, it has to be 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Can't be anything over that. It's like, why, you know? And then if this station plays it, maybe this station won't play it because it's not their type of music, and it's like... So that song was just sort of just worked out that we thought maybe it'll get played on the radio. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the one. You know, they're not going to play the 5.5 minute one that's my favorite song.
Which is what?
2 Coins.
Okay.
That's my favorite song on the record, I think. But they're not going to play that, so what's the sense of trying to service it to radio? So for me, the single doesn't really matter, you know, because thankfully the people who like my music or who have liked my music in the past usually buy the whole record. They don't just download the single, you know, and I like that. You know, I'm proud that people like my record.
I don't think I've asked you that before. Do you go in with the thinking this is an album? This needs to be the track sequencing. This tells a story from start to finish.
I mean, to a degree, there's not necessarily
a concept or anything.
Right. It's not. Yeah. I mean, the sequencing is very important, and you know, like when I wrote Death Song, for instance, the last song on the record, I knew that was the last song. I knew there could be nothing after that song. It was the same with when I wrote Hope for Now on the last record, like. And then when I wrote The Hurry and the Harm, I had an idea that it was going to be first. But then as soon as we came up with that, like, sort of overdriven swell before, I was like, that's going to lead the record. Like, that's going to start the record, you know? There's no way that can go anywhere else. And so things like that come into play. And I think about that, even in the digital age, even in I can pick my favorite song and just take that. I'm not doing that for you. Like, I'm making that record, I'm sequencing the record for me. That's how I need to hear it, you know? Whether or not you illegally downloaded it in the wrong track order or...
Going off the Thirst just for another second here, because you filmed the video on film on a Star Wars camera. This is true, or is it...
Apparently it's the cameras they used to film Star Wars.
You a big Star Wars fan? Was it something for you?
I like them.
Yeah.
The original ones.
Right.
The newish ones were...
Not so much.
They were bad. In my perspective.
Yeah, I didn't like them either. But why film? Why did you want this video to be on film?
It's more Michael, really. I mean, if I never have to be in another music video again, I would.
You don't like the process so much?
It's one of those things that comes along with the territory. Mm-hmm. It's like doing interviews or taking pictures. It's like, I don't make records so I can do this. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, and I'm not mad at you.
No, I understand.
But it's
the business side of it.
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to make a video to go along with the song. But my favorite part about it is, like, I like to sing and I like to play my guitar. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part. That's what I do this all for, so I get to do that. So, but Michael, the director, is very like me in the sense that, like, he wants to keep film alive, just like I like the idea of making a real record, you know, using tape. And
did you use tape for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually playing and singing every note and not just correcting everything because a computer can, you know. And there are, like, thankfully there are still like-minded people like that who just because you can cheat doesn't mean you have to. So he was really his idea visually had a lot to do with film and the way he was going to shoot it, and I'm all for that. You know, I love people who are that passionate about their craft. And you can be a DJ and super passionate about, you know, Pro Tools and stuff like that, but that's just not where
That's the City in Color record I want to hear, with you and Ableton.
Yeah. I mean, it might be okay.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
But I like tape hiss. I like the room. I like that you can hear. I like that it sounds like a human singing it.
There was one too. Well, I wrote it down too because I love the miking. On Paradise of the acoustic.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds like the room.
It sounds like I'm playing an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I just
no, but you know, I mean
yeah.
that like as not a joke. It sounds like I'm sitting in front of a microphone playing an acoustic guitar. And that's what I was going for. You know, I just want it to sound real. I don't know. Because it's the music, that's where the music lends itself to. If I was in the Swedish House Mafia, maybe we don't do that, you know what I mean? Right. If I was David Guetta or whatever, like, I get it. You know, you're doing your thing, but that's not what I'm doing. So I want to make records this way and, you know.
What's making the records this way? Why the change in band?
Well, the thing with the band is like all the City in Color records were never really made by a band. I mean, the first record is obviously just me and a guitar. The second record is pretty much just me and Dan Romano, my friend Dan. The third record is me and Dan with a couple of different players in there. But this time I wanted to take my song ideas and have guys who are like experts in their craft take a hold of my ideas, like my drum ideas, my bass line ideas, and see what they could bring to the table, as opposed to me, you know, like I have a pretty good grasp of the bass guitar. And when I write a song, I write a bass line for it. But I wanted to see what somebody who is just an unbelievable bass player come in and, you know? And
were you a fan of Jack's before Raconteurs, like Greenhorns? And
oh yeah,
okay.
Definitely. So when Alex, my producer, mentioned him, I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Does he want to do it? You know, like that's kind of what because I'd never made a record like this, right, with session guys or like, you know. So my first reaction was, do they want to do it? You know, like I didn't know how it worked. And I was a little bit weary of the fact that maybe these guys were just going to be paycheck, you know, taking a paycheck and coming in and playing and that's it. And no investment in the song, no really like emotional attachment to it. And I wondered if that was going to change the way the songs sound. But really the guys Alex put together were so great, not only musically, but personally as well. And yeah, it was a great experience.
Where does the change come in to say, hey, let's go on the road together? Like coming in to do some tunes on a record is one thing.
Well, yeah, with Jack, I just sort of was like, we got along really well in the short time that, because like James, who played drums on 2 songs, he was there for 1 day. Matt played drums on the rest of the record. He was there for 2 days, but Jack was there for 4 or 5 days, and right away we just sort of, I think we felt we had a bit of a kinship with one another, and you know, making each other laugh, and we both like afternoon beers, which was
I hear that was a big thing in the studio.
Yeah, it was a big thing. So I basically was just like, hey, what are you doing? Do you got anything going on? And he was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then about a month later, I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm in. And and then changing up the live band, I mean, Daniel, who used to tour with me, Daniel Romano, who's a wonderful singer-songwriter, he's off doing his own thing. And not only did I want him to go off and do his own thing and not have to worry about like having commitments with me, but I also needed somebody to be fully committed to the band. So right there I had to make a change, and then I just thought, why not just switch it up? You know, it keeps me on my toes. It's not too comfortable, you know, it's like starting over in a way. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of into that whole thing, is leaving something and starting something and putting some pressure on myself. So.
And what tunes are they digging? Because now you're revisiting songs from the old records that I'm sure they're
right, yeah, and that's again
playing.
That's a whole nother reason for doing it, is that it takes these old songs that I may or may not have become bored to death with, and it's breathed all new life into these songs. So it's great. Like and we're like it's like a whole new band. And I think the live show should be that. The live show should be a different interpretation of the song, Like the record is there because you have the record to listen to. And then when you go see the band, I don't know, for me, I never want, my favorite shows are when you're at a show and a band comes out and starts playing a song you love and you hear something different in the song, or they arrange it differently and you're like, oh, that's awesome, So that's the way I am approaching the old songs. And it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
So did you do those shows with Pink again? Has that
did.
happened? So does watching, because her act is like trapeze and stage and swinging and doing all
she's
this crazy stuff.
She's the greatest living live performer.
Does that inspire you to want to do that stuff, or
No.
do you never? Not that kind of thing.
Absolutely not, because I'm not that type of person.
You don't want to try the acrobatics and
No,
whatnot?
but I absolutely 100% respect that she gives the audience so much more than they deserve, really. Because especially in her world, where half of the people in her world aren't even really singing, not only is she going out there and singing her ass off, but singing very well, but she's also given you an unbelievable spectacle, And in that world, that's what, that's sort of what is expected nowadays of you to the song is not enough for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, it's not for me, but I love her to death. I think she's unbelievable.
Cool, we don't have too much time. So I hear a lot of league pass during the studio.
Tons.
Playoff time.
Yeah.
Predictions. Who do you think is going to take it all?
I think Miami. I don't think any team can beat Miami 4 times. That's the big problem.
Right.
I think you can get away with beating them once or twice, but I don't think anyone can beat, right now with the way LeBron James is playing, I don't think you can beat them 4 times. And that's the problem with series is, right? You got to beat the team 4 times. And he's just on some other level right now, I think. Physically, athletically, even mentally, getting that first championship out of the way now. This season, he proved to you that he's he's the only guy this year to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists. Not to mention that he, at any time, he could guard any position on the floor. There's never been a guy like that, No. There really hasn't. I always say, the LeBron, Michael Jordan argument.
No, but it's a different player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kobe is the closest thing we'll ever have to Michael.
You think Kobe's going to play another game?
I think he will. I think his resiliency will. He's
come
going to
back for
go
one more
get whatever the best technology is for. He's going to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the guy who did the German blood thing.
That's right.
And everybody was like, "What? You got new blood?" And he was like, "Yeah, I went to Germany. I got new blood." So they were probably working on a new ACL for him right now. But I think Kobe is the closest we'll ever have to Michael because of the will and the scoring prowess. But I think what LeBron is doing now is he's going to change the shape of the game, because all these guys who we're talking about, who's the next Michael, grew up watching Michael Jordan, and now there's a league full of guys inspired by Michael Jordan. Whereas now LeBron James has created this new type of player, this new super player who can play any position, defensively or offensively. And I think that is now what coaches are going to teach their young kids, And that's what I think. I think that he's now changing the shape of basketball.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's probably not going to win as many rings. Maybe his stats won't ever be as big as Michael's, but that's okay, But I think he's now LeBron James, and now the league will look to create players like him.
New LeBrons.
Yeah.
All right. One last game before I let you go.
Okay.
Usually we do 5 questions, but you've done enough. I don't feel like doing it again.
Okay.
So, and if no one's done this to you before, I'd be shocked. City or color? Canadian city or color? So is it a Canadian city or is it a color?
Oh, wow.
I made him a little hard because I know you're a smart guy.
Okay, well,
We'll give it a shot.
I like sport.
Okay, well, you've toured a lot of the country, though.
Okay.
Phlox. Phlox.
Oh.
Canadian city or color?
I'm going to say a color.
Color is correct.
Yeah.
It's almost magenta-like.
Okay. You know what I was thinking? Magenta.
I
don't know why. Probably because I was looking at that awning, which is somewhat magenta.
Somewhat magenta. Now, you've probably driven... Oh, I just gave one away.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
that's okay. Well, you give it to me anyways.
Wawa.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You have to.
Do you know that Wawa is a chain of convenience stores in Pennsylvania and New Jersey?
Really?
And the logo is a goose, and it's named after Wawa, Ontario.
Wawa, Ontario.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They have great sandwiches.
Good to know for next time in
PA.
PA.
Honestly.
Minto. M-I-N-T-O.
That sounds like a trick. I'm going to say place.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Minto, Ontario, and Minto, New Brunswick.
Oh, wow.
Double Minto.
Double Minto.
Coquillicot. Coquelicot.
Now, see, that sounds like it could be in British Columbia,
It does sound like it could be BC.
but I'm going to say color.
Color is correct.
Yeah.
It's an orangey red.
Yeah.
Malachite. Malachite.
Place.
No, color.
You know what? I was thinking like Northwest Territories or something.
Yeah. Well, that's why I threw it on there. It's a little French,
That is
too.
good, yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Okay.
It's a vibrant green.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yes. Being a green yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty vibrant.
Gamboge. Gamboge.
Place.
Color.
Come on.
I'm sorry. Spicy mustard-like. Pictou.
Place.
Place is correct,
Yeah,
Nova Scotia.
yeah.
Waterspout.
Now, see, this is one of those tricky ones
It
where
is.
you think Waterspout is obviously a town, but
Maybe.
then it's like it's some stupid color, isn't it?
It is a color.
Yeah.
It's a pale light blue.
Yeah.
Usoyus.
Color? No.
Place.
It's a
Usoyos,
place.
BC. It's like the desert. It's this weird little desert
Oh, wow.
town in
Never
BC.
been there.
Oh, you should go. It's beautiful.
I should, yeah.
You should place. They have a cool little venue. I think you're probably too big for it now, but it's a cool little venue.
Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah, would you play those little like house
Yeah.
shows again?
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
One last one. City or color? Tabor. Taber.
Tabor.
Tabor.
See, that's a weird one because it could, Tabor, Nova Scotia sounds like it flows right off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say place. It's a color, though.
No, place is correct.
It is
Tabor,
place.
Alberta.
Tabor, Alberta. Yeah.
Awesome.
Not bad. Would I get 3 wrong?
Yeah, something like that.
I went through a tough.
It's up right in the middle there.
think
The triple color.
These
triple color.
Yeah, the triple color. But
like
I got that.
You got Coquillicot,
But I got these 2 wrong.
Malachite, and Gamboge,
Yeah,
the French ones.
Gamboge sounds like it could be somewhere in Quebec.
It probably is too.
There probably is a.
I googled it. I checked.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No
man.
problem. That was
Appreciate it.
great. That's good.